Spirit. What are spiritual practices? Many would include prayer, meditation, chants, mantras, yoga, martial arts, such as Tai Chi, walking, running, and other exercises that involve controlled breathing. From Wikipedia, the modern English word spirit comes from the Latin spiritus, meaning breath, but also spirit, soul, courage, vigor, ultimately from a Proto-Indo-European, peace. It is distinguished from Latin anima, soul, which nonetheless also derives from an Indo-European root meaning to breathe, earliest form H2E and H1. In Greek, this distinction exists between pneuma, breath, modal air, spirit, and
ψυχή,
soul, even though the latter term,
ψυχήσον,
suk, is also from an Indo-European root meaning to breathe, bez, 0 grade BHS devoicing in Proto-Greek to phs, resulting in historical period Greek ps and sukhin, to breathe, whence suk, spirit, soul. According to C.G. Jung, in a lecture delivered to the Literary Society of Augsburg, October 20, 1926, on the theme of nature and spirit, the connection between spirit and life is one of those problems involving factors of such complexity that we have to be on our guard lest we ourselves get caught in the net of words in which we seek to ensnare these great enigmas. For how can we bring into the orbit of our thought those limitless complexities of life which we call spirit or life, unless we clothe them in verbal concepts, themselves mere counters of the intellect? The mistrust of verbal concepts, inconvenient as it is, nevertheless seems to me to be very much in place in speaking of fundamentals. Spirit and life are familiar enough words to us, very old acquaintances in fact, pawns that for thousands of years have been pushed back and forth on the thinker's chessboard. The problem must have begun in the grey dawn of time, when someone made the bewildering discovery that the living breath which left the body of the dying man in the last death rattle meant more than just air in motion. It can scarcely be an accident. Onomatopoeic words like ruach, Hebrew, rush, Arabic, raho Swahili, mean spirit no less clearly than
πνεύμα,
pneuma, Greek, and spiritus, Latin. This becomes apparent in religious works, like the Bible for instance. In the beginning of the Bible, it starts, in the beginning, the spirit breath of God moved upon the face of the waters. In other words, God was moving. Air, i.e. wind, used his voiced breath to cast magic spells in order to create everything. Then he blessed the seventh day. Another magic spell. In the next chapter, the Lord God formed man of the dust off the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, spirit, and man became a living soul. We also found such allusions in the gods of the four winds of Greek mythology, and various storm gods, who blew the sea storms, such as Poseidon, or Neptune, or who threw lightning, such as Zeus, Thor, and YHWH in the Middle East. Dust devils were believed to be actual devils. Even today storms are believed by many to be caused by God. A few days ago, I was thinking about the biological connection between breath and energy, as I was catching my breath under my mask after getting winded from physical exertion. I felt weak, but by breathing I regained my power. As I breathed air in, it went into my lungs, and filled my alveoli, where the O2 oxygen molecules mixed with the blood in my capillaries, and were captured by the hemoglobin proteins in my red corpuscles, carried to my beating heart, and thence to my brain, and the rest of my body tissues, where they were delivered to the mitochondria in each cell. The oxygen, O2, is combined with sugar to create carbon dioxide, CO2, water, H2O, which we exhale, and energy. This energy is our life force. It literally provides the power to carry it out. So you see, spirituality, or the nature of breath, not only gives us three conscious contact necessary of knowledge, but also the power, which we had lacked over our addiction, to carry out the guidance we find in that knowledge, instead of acting out on our addiction. When I think I can't do it, I breathe deep, and find the power to carry on.